Good evening, dear guests and performers of our beloved Carnival. This is Timber, your new voice for the midnight announcements. You might remember Amaya, who used to guide you through these twilight hours, but she's on an extended break, so it's just you, me, and the whispers of the night. So, for the official first time, I'd like to announce, welcome to the Shattered Carnival. These announcements are for everyone, the wide-eyed guests wandering our myriad attractions and the dedicated performers bringing this carnival to life. If you can hear me over any of the carnival speakers, I highly recommend taking a moment to hear our updates. Your very life, and more importantly, the quality of your carnival visit may depend on it. Let's start with some concerns. There's been a noticeable increase in complaints about restless sleep. Performers tossing and turning, murmuring in their sleep. A perfectly mundane explanation must be behind this. Like perhaps the stars themselves have decided to rearrange, causing cosmic insomnia. Nothing to worry about. Definitely nothing out of the ordinary. In other news, Pastel's Garden of Harmonies is wilting. For those of you new here, Pastel is our ethereal songstress, known for her healing magic and the magical garden she tends. She's a beautiful anthropomorphic fox who manages a lot of caretaking for the carnival. Pastel's Garden is a place where every plant hums a gentle tune, harmonizing with the universe. Recently, though, the garden's been unusually silent, and the flowers are drooping, as if weighed down by an invisible sadness. Now, it's important to note that this isn't your average botanical garden. Some say the plants have started whispering secrets to those who listen closely enough. Be careful not to stand too close. You might hear things that you weren't meant to. The carnival's getting ready for tonight's performance. It's a crowd favorite. Whimsy's knife-throwing display. For those unfamiliar, Whimsy's our other resident clown girl aside from myself. She's known for her impeccable aim and, let's say, a colorful personality. She takes the stage with her knives, each throw a blend of precision and raw emotion. She targets cardboard cutouts representing enemies of her past. A therapeutic exercise, or so she claims. The audience gets quite the thrill, watching her unleash her fury in such a controlled manner. Of course, Whimsy herself is quite the character. It's hard to say which is sharper, her words or her knives, but she's quick with both. Tonight's performance, however, comes with a slight complication. The gray fog has rolled in. For those unfamiliar, this foggy area makes the air thick and heavy. Breathing it in causes visitors to feel sluggish and disoriented, eventually leading to sleep. The fog is rather inconsiderate, placing itself in ways that block off certain carnival areas and attractions without any warning. Due to the fog, Whimsy's performance hall won't actually be accessible tonight. A pity, truly. Knowing Whimsy, she'll still do the performance for an empty theater if she has to. She has a chip on her shoulder that she's acting out through these performances. I don't think it matters much to her if there's an actual audience that sees it. But fear not, dear guests. If you wish to catch a glimpse of Whimsy and her unique talents, you might find her near the storm cage. Oh, the storm cage, a sight to behold. This storm strengthens over time, and without tending to it, could break out of its cage. That would be a very bad night for the carnival and all of its guests. Whimsy has been tasked with periodically entering the cage and allowing the storm to assail her, subjecting herself to a terrible flurry of cutting winds, violent hail, and repeated strikes of lightning. Not only does this near-deadly experience make for a great spectacle for our visitors, it also brings down the fury of the storm and tempers it enough to keep it trapped within the cage. Some visitors may ask, why is Whimsy tasked with this horrific duty? You see, dear listeners, Whimsy is frustratingly resilient. Nothing ever manages to keep her down, no matter how hard anyone tries. Let's just say that I've experienced the storm firsthand, and it's possible that Whimsy is the only one who could survive these visits. It's also possible that it's Whimsy's job to manage the storm cage because it's all a metaphor for Whimsy's dangerously overwhelming emotions and aggression. That's the beauty of our wonderful shattered carnival. Everything's just kind of there without clear explanation, helping maintain that sense of mystery and wonder that our visitors have come to expect from the carnival. Moving on, a reminder for our guests to visit the Hall of Mirrors. It's a marvel of disorientation where your reflection becomes a kaleidoscope of past and future selves. Each mirror distorts in a unique way, showing you fragments of who you were, who you could be, and perhaps who you should fear to become. A delightful metaphor for our daily struggle with self-identity. Some guests have reported feeling slightly fractured after their visit. But don't worry, that's just the mirrors working their magic. And for those of you feeling adventurous, the Phantom Ride awaits. Step in, buckle up, and enjoy a journey you'll never remember. Guests often find themselves disembarking, puzzled and disoriented, with no recollection of the ride itself. Some say it's a metaphor for the sensation of time passing without awareness. Others claim it's just a delightful quirk of carnival engineering. Whichever you choose to believe, the Phantom Ride guarantees an experience you'll forget. In other news, the cotton candy machine in the food court has begun producing clouds of what can only be described as whispers. If you're brave enough to taste the sweet treat, you may hear secrets about yourself that even you didn't know. Just be cautious, too much sugar is bad for your teeth, and too many secrets can be bad for your soul. Now, a word from our security team. If you notice any unusual shadows lurking near the ticket booth, do not approach them. We're not entirely sure what they are, but they seem to enjoy playing hide and seek with the staff. If you win, you get a free ride on the carousel. If you lose, well, let's just not think about that. Oh? What's this? Listeners, I found a switch. The label reads, Broadcast Performance. This switch was taped down in the off position, and a sloppy handwritten note posted next to it reads, Do not touch. If I've learned anything taking over for Amaya, it's that her rules are meant to be broken. With Whimsy's performance right about to start, I say we flip this switch and see what we can hear. Okay, listeners, I'll see you on the other side. Okay, do I have that right? No?
Is anybody out there? Why are the seats empty? You know what? Fuck it. I've got this.
Welcome, folks, to my twisted fucking show. Knives gleaming, flashing, the spotlights close. See the cardboard dragons, those bitches in blue. Tonight I'll shred them, one slice for each wound. Step right up, don't be shy, take your seat. Witness the carnage, hear the heartbeats. Every soul scream, every hit a cry. In this twisted act, see Whimsy fly. First up, the blue dragon, scales shining bright. Fucking bitch took my dreams in the night. With the flick of my wrist, the blade takes flight. Sinks deep in her heart, just feels right. Remember the fire, the screams in the dark, the cultist chants, every hateful remark. It's not just a show, it's a purge, it's a fight. Revenge on those shadows that haunt my nights. Next, those gray cloaked creeps, the cultist breed. They slink in the shadows, praising their queen. Knife in my hand, they tremble and bleed. Every throws a fuck you to their darkened creed. Step right up, don't be shy, take your seat.
Oh, sorry about that. Still figuring this out.
Then the fog rolls in, thick and slow. Memory blurs, and my friend a foe. Lost in the echoes of each knife's throw. I'm not on stage, I'm back in the shadows. But then the fog rolls in, thick and slow. Memory blurs, and my friend a foe. Lost in the echoes of each knife's throw. I'm not on stage, stage, I'm back in the shadows. But back to the stage where reality bends. Knives find the mark and the torment ends. Cardboard falls in the silence it sends. The crowd cheers, but my journey never ends. Step right up, don't be shy, take your seat. Witness the carnage, hear the heartbeats. Every soul scream, every hit a cry. In this twisted act, see Whimsy fly. So remember this, as the night unfolds. Every knife, every cut, a story told. In the carnival's heart, where shadows mold. Whimsy's rage burns bright, uncontrolled.
Okay, welcome back, listeners. That was quite the performance. I apologize for not warning ahead of time, but Whimsy uses a lot of colorful word choices. I have these papers in front of me, with all the announcements neatly typed up. Have you ever wondered where they come from? I do, occasionally. Who writes them? Who decides what gets announced and what gets conveniently left out? It's a mystery, really. But let's not dwell on it. After all, we're here for the show, aren't we? I swear these papers are different than they were before Whimsy's performance. This stack hasn't moved or left my vision. And now, look at this. The top page reads, I'm getting reports that we've had some unusual occurrences during Whimsy's broadcast. First off, the echoes. The sounds of Whimsy's knife-throwing performance have been reverberating throughout the carnival, even when the speakers were off. Guests and performers alike have been hearing the relentless sounds of knives hitting targets, causing quite the stir. It's as if the performance itself has become a part of the carnival's very fabric, an unsettling reminder of her act that no one can escape. But that's not all. Several visitors and staff have reported experiencing sharp, unexplained pains as if they were struck by invisible knives. These phantom pains are sporadic and affect different people at random times, leading to anxiety and paranoia. It seems the impact of Whimsy's performance has manifested in a very real and discomforting way. Intrusive, persistent, and impossible to ignore, much like the voices we often try to silence within ourselves. And there's more. Some of our guests have had visions of fires and blue dragons attacking the carnival, the flames engulfing tents and rides, and these eerie blue dragons swooping down from the skies. It's as if the very essence of Whimsy's past battles has seeped into our reality, turning our carnival into a battleground of nightmares. This, dear listeners, is the immediate aftermath of broadcasting Whimsy's performance. Amaya's notes warned against flipping that switch, and now I understand why. The carnival is reacting in ways we could never have predicted. But here's the thing. Despite the chaos, I believe there's something to be gained from this. We can't simply ignore these voices, these echoes. They demand to be heard, no matter how unsettling. Perhaps in embracing this chaos, we'll uncover something extraordinary about ourselves, about the carnival. Oh, seeing these notes, I missed an announcement earlier. The Abyss, our new attraction, is still off-limits to guests. It's a place of deep contemplation and repressed emotions. Not exactly a fun ride, if you catch my drift. So steer clear and leave the exploring to the professionals. That's all I have to announce tonight. This has been a fun endeavor, and I'm looking forward to continue bringing you announcements from our lovely carnival. Stay tuned, brave souls. The carnival is just beginning to show its true colors. And remember, if the echoes whisper your name and the phantom pains strike, don't be afraid to listen. After all, every voice deserves to be heard. Good night.